As part of the quality control and defect identification and resolution, I decided to extend talking about one of these important tools and the importance of having a well-defined management of the defects or inefficiencies, and the importance of having a resolution or an effective resolution to these inefficiencies or defects. So, defect identification and resolution are critical to maintain the project quality and meeting the deliverable expectations. When defects occur, it's essential not only to address the immediate issues, but also to identify the underlying cause or root causes these issues to prevent future occurrences. So, in this session, we'll talk about the effective defect management to ensure the product quality and ensures the stakeholder satisfaction. Also, we'll see how resolving defects can minimize the rework and project delays or project impacting the project cost. And to start first with talking with one of these important tools here we have is the root cause analysis or the RCA. So, root cause analysis helps to uncover the source of a problem, allowing the project teams to address it effectively. RCA here identifies the primary reason behind of the defect, and you can, let's say, reach into the root cause of the issue by following this common RCA tools, including the 5 Whys and the fishbone diagrams. 5 Whys here is that you can, let's say, ask yourself or ask the team or ask let's say, or assess the situation by asking the 5 Whys. So, in case that you have met with a release of software that you were working on and it has, let's say, 10 escaped defects, an escape defects where it means that it has escaped the testing phase and it went and it's been approached by, let's say, the end users. So you might have discovered, let's say, a range of 10 defects to 15 defects, which is higher than the average. So you need now to ask yourself why there were, let's say, huge number of escape defects at this, let's say, release. Based on that, you might understand that you had less testing professionals or QA teams that to test these features and functionalities. And after that, you also need to ask yourself why you had a lack of, let's say, planning on these QA processes and QA activities. Then you keep asking yourself and the team 5 times why we have faced this issue until you reached into the, let's say, to the root cause. So you deal with the root cause or say the source of the issue, so you can resolve it permanently to avoid impacting a future, let's say, events. And again, the RCA here, it helps in developing a long-term solutions. Let's say here an example of utilizing RCA in a manufacturing defect arise in the production line. So think of there is a manufacturing project that is going on and there is a defects arise in the production line. So the fishbone diagram here can reveal that the outdated equipment or poor materials are the root cause of that issue. So there is a higher number of defects arise in the production line. When they conducted a fishbone diagram, it has revealed that might be the reason behind of, let's say, having an outdated equipment or poor material quality. So this is the root cause. Now you need, by identifying and addressing these issues, you as a project manager can take a corrective action and the team can implement permanent solutions to enhance the overall quality and efficiency. Also, handling the non-conformances. So handling non-conformances involves identifying the deviations, also documenting them, and taking corrective actions to align with the project requirements. Non-conformances, it refers to these deviations from the project, let's say, quality requirements or quality standards. You, do, you like you have, let's say, to identify these deviations, document them, but without taking action, you're not resolving these issues. So you need to have an immediate corrective action to mitigate such, let's say, risks or issues. Again, documenting is a critical part of tracking and learning and also identifying, but also the most important part here is taking a corrective action to resolve these critical issues that you have found. A very important concept here we are going to cover, which is the cost of quality. You might face this at the PMP exam when, let's say, um, it will test your ability to understand the concept itself. So the cost of quality here, it's a framework that highlights the financial impact of quality management. The cost of quality includes the prevention, appraisals, and failure costs. As you could see that we have as prevention, it has 33% of the cost. Also the appraisals, also it has as part of its quality cost, it's with 33 percent of the cost, and the failure cost here, which is the higher, with 34%. High failure costs indicates a poor quality management. So whenever you have a high, let's say, failure costs and failure reworks and failure, let's say, defects that you have to deal with, it means that you have a poor quality management. So it's very important to balance the prevention and appraisal costs to minimize the failure costs. Let's take an example here. In a manufacturing project, the prevention costs here might include the employee training, and the failure costs, on the other hand, could arise from the custom returns or warranty claims. And by investing in prevention and appraisal, organizations can significantly reduce the overall quality related cost and enhance the customer satisfaction. The inspection techniques that you and your team can follow to ensure that you have an effective, let's say, inspection and testing during the quality control. So, inspection techniques are critical for identifying and resolving defects before they escalate or they escape. Some of these inspection techniques, including the visual and functional and compliance inspections. So ensure that you have a regular inspection to reduce the downstream of the errors. Let's take an example here where a software project may involve, as part of the inspection, code reviews and functional testing to ensure alignment with the design specifications. Also, regular inspection provides a real-time feedback, enabling the teams to address the issues promptly and maintain a high-quality deliverables. Managing the, let's say, defect resolution timeline. So, defects you might face if you are handling an IT project or software project or a manufacturing project. The other project, it could, let's say, suffer from inefficiencies or issues that can be considered as defects in terms of, let's say, resolution and timeline. So, managing, let's say, the defects and resolution timeline. So, timely resolution of defects is crucial to avoid disruption to the project timelines. And whenever you capture or you identify a defect, you need to deal with it immediately, because keeping this defect and without, let's say, documenting and taking a corrective action on it, it can escalate and it can cause, let's say, a high severity, and will have a higher impact on the project timeline and constraints, also on the customer satisfaction or the stakeholder satisfaction when they find that there is a defect has escaped during your project. So we are talking here about the timely resolution, which prevents cascading impacts on the project schedule and costs. Also, let's highlight the importance of having ability to prioritize these defects based on the defect severity and urgency and impact on the overall project constraints and the quality requirements. Ensure that you have enough collaboration across the teams to ensure the faster resolution. An important, again, here, a concept about continuous improvement and defect management. If you recall, when we were talking about the PDCA, which is plan, do, check, and act, as part of the quality control. So here we are again going back to the defect management and the importance of having continuous improvement and defect management. So continuous improvement involves using insights from the defect resolution to refine the processes and to prevent failure issues or future issues. You might use the defect data to enhance the processes and incorporate lessons learned into the quality plan. So using defect data, it can help you in the future. Also, it can help the other project managers to learn from the defect frequency, the defect resolution, and the defect urgency and impact on the overall project. So it's very important to have a list of all of these defects with their root causes, so you can later on learn from these and share it with the other teams to enhance the processes and to ensure that they are not falling into the same, let's say, defects or issues. Also, this is part of the incorporation of the lessons learned into the quality plan. So think of you as running a project where it was there is a similar project where delivered lately within the same scope. So you can review all of these quality lessons learned so you can apply it to your project to avoid falling into these lessons or to these failures that were faced by the other projects. Same goes to you. So you need to ensure that you are documenting all of the lessons that you learn to help the future projects avoid falling into to the same issues. You as a project manager, you need to focus on proactive the defect preventions. So again, we talked about the continuous improvement by utilizing the insights and data to refine the processes and prevent the future issues. Now let's look at one of these real-world examples when dealing with a defect resolution. We have, let's say, in a software development project where there were a critical bug that were discovered and it has disrupted the user experience after the product launch. So now we are dealing with a situation that there is a bug were discovered in a software development or let's say a deployed software. So you as a project manager now you need to take an action by first analyzing its root causes to understand the reason behind of that let's say errors or bug that has impacted the user experience. So after conducting a root cause analysis, it has revealed that there's a gaps in the testing protocols, leading to the implementation of, let's say, automated testing as a corrective action. So you have identified the reason behind of the issue by saying that it revealed there's a gaps in the testing protocols. So now you have identified it. Now you understand its impact on the user experience. Now you need to take, let's say, corrective action on the lessons or in the root cause analysis that you have conducted. And the let's say the resolution here or the corrective action that you as a project manager has implemented is by implementing an automated testing tools. This change not only resolved the defect but also improved the overall testing processes, reducing the future defects and enhancing the product, let's say, reliability. Here are some of these key benefits for having an effective defect management. Effective defect management fosters the stakeholder trust by ensuring the deliverables meet the quality expectation and standards. Additionally, it minimizes the rework, which saves the time and resources. Rework is one of these wastes. We consider it in project management, rework is considered as waste because now after that you have, let's say, completed or launched the project or the product and you find, let's say, some defects. So now you need to pull back the product or the software. You, you really need to, let's say, to restart on working on these defects or issues that it was escaped. So we consider this as a rework with its associated costs. Also, the benefits of having an effective defect management and quality, strict quality control management It enhances the team productivity and morals. That will allows the team to focus on value-driven tasks as part of the team productivity and morals as well. And to summarize our session, we talked about the defect identification and resolution. Identification and resolution are important for achieving the project success. We looked at some of these techniques like the root cause analysis, the fishbone, the Ishikawa, let's say, to identify the root causes of the defects, combined with the focus on the cost of quality and continuous improvement, as well as the importance of implementing the corrective actions and documenting them as a lessons learned for to help the future project, enables the team to maintain a high standards and meet the stakeholder expectations. Proactive defect management not only resolve immediate issues but also strengthen the overall project quality and delivery capabilities.